This presentation I call very simply LinkedIn marketing strategy for founders. This is the first day out of a 4-day series. Today, we will learn how to create your LinkedIn strategy. Tomorrow, we will learn about LinkedIn newsletters, not just launching your LinkedIn newsletter, but also what type of newsletter should you publish to establish credibility in a way that actually gets you business results on LinkedIn. The third day is LinkedIn content. What type of content should you be posting? This will include short form videos, polls, text posts, images, carousels, all of that type of content that exists on the feed. The fourth day is LinkedIn live video events. This presentation is for you if you are a founder, CEO, business owner. You are willing to get on video. So personally, I will only work with founder CEOs that actually are willing to get on video and that are willing to at least show up once a month on live video. So if you're not willing to do that, then I'm not the coach for you and you want your business to win in 2025. A lot of the founder CEOs that I work with, they are confident, they're not afraid of the camera, they just have never prioritized it before, they've never had to market themselves before. They may have a new business or a service line that's launching and they're willing to do what it takes in 2025 to put their business in the best position to win. And if it's not you, then you should probably leave. Seriously. Our focus will be LinkedIn strategy. Now, why is this critical? It's because I actually want to increase your chances of winning. The more you win, the more I win, right? Because the more you tell people, or the more you're likely to become a client. And it becomes easier to win with the right strategy. So, what I will share, I'm sure there are tons of strategies to win on LinkedIn. In fact, I know there are. But the strategies that I'm going to share with you today, or the process that I'm going to share with you to create your own LinkedIn marketing strategy, is just what I have personally experienced myself and what I have helped other clients of mine deploy who have been extremely successful. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Shanae Murray. I have almost a million followers on LinkedIn. Over the last 4 years, I've helped hundreds of founders, CEOs market themselves on LinkedIn in a way that has led to positive results for their business. One of the things that separates me from a lot of the other coaches is that my clients are still creating years later. And it's because they learn the skills required and they have the mindset required to do what is required on LinkedIn to get results for their business. It's not like they do something for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then hop off. A lot of the clients that I've served even 2 years ago are still creating today because they learn the skills required. I have about 267,000 LinkedIn newsletter subscribers, and I've been able to leverage LinkedIn to build a private email list of more than 30,000 people now. This isn't just giggles. I've actually walked the walk. I've also helped other people walk the walk and get results for themselves on LinkedIn and for their business. So, one of my greatest case studies is Maria Malik. Some of you may know her. She has 200,000 something followers now, but I was the coach that helped her get from 2,000 followers on LinkedIn to over 100,000 followers on LinkedIn in 6 months. The original reason she wanted to grow her visibility on LinkedIn was she did not like to do cold DMs and cold calls, and she didn't like to have to chase people to join her coaching programs or her courses. And that quickly changed within the first 90 days. She went from having to DM people to being 100% inbound. That then led to her learning how to sell on webinars, one to many, instead of having to do a bunch of calls because she didn't want to build a sales team. Another case study is Kizzy Parks. Some of you may know her on more on the YouTube side, but she originally started video with me on the LinkedIn side. So she has about 30,000 something followers on LinkedIn. She had never done video before. She started to do short form video on LinkedIn, started to crush it, started to get inbound high ticket clients, and started to find vendors for her government contracting business. And then that led to her starting on YouTube. And now she has 150,000 YouTube subscribers. This is Jace, another case study. 4,200 LinkedIn newsletter subscribers. Jace comes from the Grant Cardone world, was a top seller there, started his own recruiting agency, is crushing it in his own recruiting agency as an entrepreneur. And of course, being from the sales environment, he would have to depend a lot originally on cold calling and cold DMs and stuff. And we were able to change that to the LinkedIn newsletter being his number one inbound acquisition strategy for his business. And his tickets are very high, at least 50K per client. And that is now inbound because a lot of his LinkedIn newsletters also rank on Google and stuff like that. He started posting again on LinkedIn about a month ago. He's still a client. And in the last 30 days, he's gained 1 million organic impressions for his business. Dr. Geneva, she went from 2K to 8,000 followers on LinkedIn. And again, this was not the goal. 2,600 LinkedIn newsletter subscribers. But the thing is that she's able to leverage her expertise and her knowledge and able to get inbound high ticket clients from doing what is fun for her, which is the LinkedIn live video events. And she has been consistently doing them for 2 years now, consistent with her newsletters. And she has fun in the process. So the thing is that marketing should feel fun to you. Your long-term strategy on LinkedIn should not feel draining energetically, or else you will never be able to sustain it. And this is something that I see a lot of people do is that they will see one person deploy one strategy and then they'll be like, well, I have to do the same thing. But they're not really looking at what their strengths are, what their constraints are, what their superpowers are. They're leaving a lot of potential on the table because they're deploying a strategy that just doesn't align with their strengths. And then this is Walker. So Walker already had a pretty big presence on YouTube, came to me, wanted to crush it on LinkedIn because he loves LinkedIn. He was part of the original first 10,000 users on LinkedIn. He's already grown 4,000 plus followers in a few months. We've been able to grow his newsletter from 0 to 5,300 LinkedIn newsletter subscribers in 4 months. He's hosted 2 LinkedIn live events with over 100 plus attendees, and he's starting to get inbound high ticket investors and clients just through LinkedIn visibility. Why is this more critical than ever? And I really want you, if you're doing your laundry or doing something else, to perk your ears and pay attention because it is more critical than ever. Number one, because of advisors and social media strategists that help big brands like Gary Vee, per se, the big brands are starting to realize the opportunity that there is just on organic social media. One of the platforms being LinkedIn, especially when it comes to B2B. So a lot of these big brands are going to start to create content on LinkedIn, and they have more employees than you. They have more resources than you. They can scale faster than you on the platforms. There's going to naturally be more competition from big brands. And you may see this as you're scrolling LinkedIn, you're starting to see more videos from big brands. You're starting to see even a lot of celebrities like Snoop Dogg or a lot of athletes come to the platform. And it's because they're starting to realize the opportunity, the business opportunity that there is. Big brands are also going to train their internal employees because they have realized people trust people and that personal branding has power. Big brands are going to create, train, and own the IP of AI influencers. So not only will these big brands start to deploy personal brands through their employees, but they're going to start creating AI influencers that resonate with the demographics that they need to resonate with the people they need to resonate with. They will be deployed at scale. Maybe not this year, but definitely starting next year. Humans will not be your only competition. AI will be your competition very soon. And also humans deploying AI versions of themselves. The actual platforms that are the social media channels are going to create AI influencers. Meta has already started this. Meta has profiles that they own that are going to start to take market share as well. And this is just an example of one. Will it take time for the general audience to adapt to it and accept it? Yes. But the fact that it's even started, this will probably be a lot more common within the next 18 months. Your competitors will start to realize this and are already starting to realize this, which means they will start to post more on LinkedIn, which means that they will start to take their personal brand seriously. And all it takes is one. About 18 months ago, a CEO in construction reached out to me. He wanted to take his personal brand seriously. Unfortunately, his board was not on board, so they did not approve him taking his personal brand seriously. And he's at the stage of business where he has to listen to the board and all of that. Long story short, about 6 months ago, I get contacted by him again. And it just so happens that another CEO in his industry is dominating. So another CEO in his industry started to take LinkedIn seriously. He's getting all the views on LinkedIn when they go to trade shows. All the people come up to him. He's acquiring their talent and he's dominating. Now they're in reactive mode. So even if you choose not to, when you choose not to take your personal brand seriously, what you are choosing to do is you're choosing to make yourself vulnerable in a sense, because all it takes is one other person, no matter how niche your industry, to start to dominate and take market share. Your competitors will also begin to deploy AI versions of themselves to scale and AI influencers. And no, I'm not AI right now. This is not AI yet. Long story short is there will be more competition. If there's more competition, it's going to be harder for you to stand out unless you're good. You need to get better. And you need to take it more seriously. 2 years ago, you could post here and there. You could post a video saying nothing really, and it could get traction. Now you actually have to say something. Now you actually have to be good. Now nobody cares if you're consistent. That's just the entry. That's the charge of entry at the door. If you can't be consistent, you won't even have a chance. If you are not willing to take this seriously and at least be consistent, you don't even have a chance. There will be more distrust than ever from your prospects' point of view. Why? Because they're going to be scrolling something. This is even happening to me on even LinkedIn. I see some picture. I'm not sure if the person's real because it kind of looks like AI. So I'm like, is this like a fake profile or like a real person or someone pretending to be this person? They don't have videos, they don't have anything. They just have good content. It could be any copywriter behind that profile. They will also bring that distrust to you. And it's nothing personal. There's just going to be an increased level of distrust where I don't know if this person is real or AI. I don't know if what you're saying is true. Even for me, it's getting hard. So sometimes I'll be looking at a video, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is AI. If we know this, then as business owners, to increase the chance of success for our businesses, we have to be proactive in combating that rising level of distrust, which means that we have to earn trust at scale, take it seriously, and whether we like it or not, just see it as a responsibility of being the founder, the CEO, whatever. To win, we have to earn trust at scale. If 100 times more people trusted you, then it would be a lot easier for you to get inbound business. Why LinkedIn is a great place to start to earn that trust at scale. Number one, the supply and demand of attention. Even though there's going to be more creators, more brands that are coming, it's still low supply and high demand. Why? Because only 1 to 3% of a billion people actually create original content weekly on LinkedIn, which is insane, but which is also the danger zone factor. Because let's take the CEO in construction example. Even though none of the competitors, they didn't take action because it's like, oh, nobody in our industry does LinkedIn, but all it takes is one. Now that one CEO is gobbling up talent. When I tell you gobbling up talent, he's like the superstar at all the trade shows. He doesn't even have to introduce himself with the business card. And even if he got zero clients, the amount of money they are saving on acquiring top talent is insane. Just because one CEO started to show up. So it's the opportunity, but it's also the danger if you don't take action. Does this make sense? Also, the people that you start to get in front of are decision makers. So 4 out of 5 people are decision makers on LinkedIn. So you can stand out faster if you take it seriously. And then the people that you stand out in front of are decision makers, which means that you can close deals a lot faster because you don't have to go through the middleman. And then the average user on the platform makes double the income compared to Facebook and Instagram. We'll call them the ugly cousins. So the average user makes double the income, which means that they're more likely able to afford your offer, especially if your offer is high ticket. This is critical because who wants to get on calls with people that are genuinely interested in what it is that you have to offer, but just truly cannot afford it? If you get on 10 of those calls a week, it's eventually going to take a toll on your soul. It's eventually gonna take a toll on your business soul. Eventually, it does. And so you want to decrease the risk of that happening because that's actually a very dangerous thing to happen for any business owner. Those 10 calls are removing you from time that you could be improving client experiences, improving your product, just working on things for your business. You take the 10 calls, it doesn't go anywhere, and then your hope eventually decreases, and then you start to tell some story in your mind that just because these 10 calls said no, that your business is doomed to fail. And then now you bring that energy everywhere and it's just bad. We want to stay away from that. And LinkedIn is a way to do so. Let's ask the critical question of how do we earn trust at scale in 2025? How does a business owner earn trust at scale in 2025? There's a few steps that we need to take. Number one, we need people to know that we exist, but it's not just being seen, because how many people do you see in content pretty often that you don't necessarily trust? It's not just about being seen, it's also about vulnerability, it's also about credibility, and just there are a few things that we need to do. And that's what we're going to cover in the next 3 days. But specifically today, the first thing that we need to ask ourselves is who do we need to earn trust from, right? And what most other trainings will tell you is that you need to optimize your profile. Who's heard this? Who's gone to a LinkedIn training? And just be honest, put one in the chat. They're like, the first step is to optimize your profile. Yes, I see a lot of ones already. I'm sorry you were given such bad advice. The first step is to not optimize. Because how can you optimize your profile if you don't necessarily know who you're optimizing it for? And this is the biggest mistake that I see on LinkedIn. I'm going to share one little example of something that I saw marketing wise that will resonate with this. When Kim Kardashian started to get involved with investors and VCs, she started to do photo shoots in a black turtleneck. And there's a reason for it. Why? Because that's kind of the look, right? That's the look that would resonate with a lot of investors and VCs. So just taking the profile picture as an example, I would not choose if I had to resonate with stay at home moms or if I had to resonate with VCs, I would not choose the same profile picture. I would choose a very different profile picture if I needed to resonate with stay at home moms compared to a profile picture that I would have to resonate with VCs. So before we optimize, we have to get extremely clear on who we're optimizing for and who we're here to serve. And this is something that 90% of the energy in your marketing strategy should not be about you. 90% should be about who. The more you understand who it is that you're trying to attract, the more that you will be able to attract them. What we will focus on today are the steps to creating your strategy. And a strategy is really made from four components. So the first thing is a goal. And then the second thing is understanding constraints. The third thing is understanding leverage. And the fourth thing is understanding what sequence of actions do you need to take now. Let's start with the first component, which is the goal. What is the one goal? Keyword one. What is the one goal that you're trying to accomplish in the next 90 days that aligns with the top priority in your business? It has to be extremely specific and it has to be one. Some people come to me, they're like, Shanae, I want to fill my group coaching program. I want B2B workshops. I want to sell my book. Let's start with one so that all of our energy, effort, time, and attention can be dedicated to that one. Now, in the scenario where you want a lot of those things, we have to really, you as a business owner have to look at the business. But if I were sitting across the table from you, I'd be like, what's the top priority for your business right now? And let's say the top priority for that person's business was to get B2B workshops. Okay, well, then that should be the one goal on LinkedIn right now. That doesn't mean that it can't change in 90 days. Ask yourself, what's the one priority right now for your business? And this will depend on what stage of business you're at. And then it should align on LinkedIn with what you're trying to do. But let's say that you mainly in 2025 are working with high ticket clients, one on one high ticket clients. Then maybe your goal is to acquire 5 high ticket clients within the next 90 days. Let's say that the majority of your business is coming from a group coaching program that you run every 90 days. Then the goal should be to fill the group coaching program. Let's say that all of your sales come from a course, then the goal should be to sell the course. It could be growing your email list. I've had people come to me that they're like, listen, I have the email list down packed. It goes to a webinar or goes to an on demand webinar. And then I have a predictable system that leads to course sales. I just need more emails. Well, then the goal is let's grow the email list. And then I have people that come to me that are like, listen, I'm already rich. I just exited my business. I just want followers because I'm going to launch a book. Well, then let's focus on followers. There's no right or wrong. This is extremely critical because if you do not know the one goal, then we cannot define who it is that we need to attract to achieve this goal with the least resistance. I'll give you an example. A recruiting agency, 80% of their clients want to recruit salespeople. But what they have identified is that the top 20% of their clients actually don't want salespeople. They need operators. So they're looking for directors of operations or COOs. This recruiting agency wants to lean into that because those people pay 50K and the other people pay 10K, and there's a lot more competition on the sales side. So, who exactly would their marketing strategy need to attract? Would it need to attract the clients who are looking for salespeople or clients that are looking for COOs? COO. And that is an internal choice. This is where it gets nuanced, and this is where I provide value to my clients as well. Because this same recruiting agency in another world could say, we're not really good at that. We got paid once or twice here, but we're just going to stay in sales and double down. Then they would obviously be identifying the type of client that is the easiest to attract when it comes to sales. A consulting agency, they serve global clients. I'm talking about like Nike this, Kroger this, whatever. But in the current market, most of their clients that are moving forward fast with consulting. Our family businesses, they've been owned for 100 plus years. They have 100-ish employees. So this founder CEO has to make a decision. Do they want to bet on the global clients that they've been serving that are a lot on hold now because of tariffs and all of that? Or do they double down on this type of client? Why does this matter? This matters because the messaging will be completely different. The problems are completely different. By defining your one goal, that should lead you to understand, okay, who do I need to attract to achieve the goal with the least resistance? Most of the time, if you have an established business, which means you already have clients, I would just look at your data. Who are your top 20% clients that pay you the most with the least resistance? What did they buy first? Why did they buy from you? How did they find you? And what was the event that led them to do this? A lot of the times, people don't even do this. Somebody put messaging matters in the chat. Messaging is everything. If you master the messaging, the right people will come to you and they will be like, I want to pay you to work with me. Take my money. You will not have to fight tooth and nail for anything. You will be a market of one. Messaging is literally everything. And then we have to decide, okay, once we identify who they are, where are we going to lead them to? So, what is the one call to action? Notice how I said one. I don't care if you have an ebook, a landing page, a checklist, DM this, chatbot this. Choose one. And guess what? You don't even need a website. You don't need a landing page. The call to action could just be message me on LinkedIn. Because guess what? If your messaging is on the money, people will start to message you and say, can I get a call? People are smart. They will figure out a way to contact you. And I see this in myself. If there's somebody's video that I see, but I don't see that they have a website, I'm going to contact them. I'm going to find their email. I'm going to message them on LinkedIn. I'm going to find a way. It's like when you feed a baby. If anyone's fed a baby, like you could do all the little airplanes, rub it against their mouth or whatever. If they don't want it, they're just going to spit it. They may even trick you, take it and then spit it all over your face and be like, haha, and start laughing. Same thing with adult human beings. You could be like, click here right now, or your world is going to end, and they still won't do it if they don't want to. So don't force feed your call to action into the wrong people's mouths. So it could be DM me on LinkedIn to schedule a consultation, go to the website to schedule a consultation. I don't care. Join the private email list. Just have one that you say over and over again in your content, in your newsletters, in your live events. This is going to be critical. If I see you switching your call to actions, like you're switching your underwear, there's a problem. And hopefully you switch your underwear at least 7 days a week. And it has to match the buyer. So this is the other thing. If I'm going to focus on low volume, very high quality ticket, I should probably not lead them to a checklist unless I have evidence that then they schedule a consultation from the checklist. Nobody wants a checklist if they're going to pay you 100 grand. Just get on the call with me and give me attention. Right? So you're doing a group coaching program or something, maybe a webinar. If you're a terrible teacher, maybe a webinar is not right for you. So remember the constraints and the leverage. If your offer is 100K, it will probably require a call, right? Now, you may have evidence that first they come to some landing page that you have, they fill it out, and then they book a call, which is great. But a lot of the times, all it takes is a DM and a phone call. And then what is the reason they should even get on the call, right? What do they get? What's the outcome? Because a lot of people are like, oh, the consultation is only 20 minutes. Only 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes of my time. Through the messaging and through what we are going to deploy with LinkedIn newsletters, LinkedIn content, live events, they should reach out to you to request a call. And you should start to see this motion within 60 days. Put inbound in the chat if you want to start to experience inbound. Inbound is they're coming to you instead of you having to chase them. From today, what I want you to understand is that strategy matters. So I really want you to it may take more than 20 minutes for you to really understand, okay, what do I want to double down on in my business? What's the top priority if you don't already know? And then from there, we align your LinkedIn strategy with that top priority. So why is this important? This is important because let's say that my audience were founder CEOs, they were willing to go live on video, and they are, right? Instead of launching a LinkedIn newsletter called Marketing Tips or LinkedIn Tips, I could start to really get serious. LinkedIn Live Video for CEOs. What does that do? That segments the right people that are interested in live video that see themselves as CEOs. So understanding that how clear you get on these questions for yourself, it will literally bleed through everything that you will deploy. You may start on LinkedIn, but then it goes to YouTube, it goes to other places. When you create your live event, it'll mean the difference between you putting something very general and something specific. When you post content, instead of being like, hey, here are 3 generic tips that nobody cares about, you will actually get very granular. And when you get granular, what happens? You naturally resonate with the right people. If you do not get your LinkedIn strategy correct, then it's kind of like that saying that if 2 planes start at the same place, but like one is 3 degrees off, they land in an entirely different city. It's that. What will happen is you may start to get engagement, you may start to get impressions, you may even start to get calls, but they're not ready yet. Or they can't afford your offer, or they just don't know. And then there's no conversion. You know that you've hit the messaging correctly when they start to reach out to you within 60 to 90 days. Every one of 2 calls, they're ready to move forward. When you ask them, when do you want to start? They say yesterday. And I've literally had that happen because they're ready. They're the right person. You attracted them with the right messaging.